You know, when I look at, for example, let me just digress, please permit me, the Fulani nation. It's not that they are bigger than us in numbers. Fulani are about 10% population of Nigeria. But when they have a common objective or a common enemy, they decide to put aside the problems, synergize, come together, and put all resources towards crushing that enemy. And once they've done that, they elevate themselves, and then they still resolve whatever problem they have to resolve. Unfortunately for us in the South, or maybe in Edo Central, we decide that our own problem is more important than the common enemy. So we fight ourselves, destroy ourselves, deplete our resources, and then by the time we have finished the battle, we are so scarred and tattered and decimated that we do not have the energy to even face the common enemy again. So this is the problem that I see that we have. We don't understand the benefit of fighting as one, as being a collective. So very often we deplete our resources, our time. There's a lot of internal fighting when we should be synergizing, cooperating towards a common objective. Initially, but a lot of us are already prepared to bank what we don't have. We want to have 90% of zero rather than having 10% of something. That is the problem that we have. So if we can all come together and say, look, you know what, we have a common problem. What is the problem? We don't have some people in government. How do we do this? Forget if you are APC, forget if you are PD. Remember that you are Esan. Let us do what will take for Esan to get into that position. And my brother, if it's one person is governor, and then you will have more people in cabinet, be satisfied to be involved with the government. Take a small percentage of something than to say, well, I want to be only me, and then you have 0%, 100% of nothing. It is better for you to have a little percentage of something than to have 100% of nothing. So I think for the average Uromi man, Esan man, we need to start to understand that we should put aside our quarrels, our differences. We should be fighting for our survival now. And a person who knows that his future is threatened, we also need sense. To whom brain is given, sense is expected. At times, the way we behave, I think we don't have sense, and we are mature. So, Esan land needs to survive. We are an endangered species. Esan land is an endangered species politically, and they are trying to relegate us into irrelevance. So we need to have a different strategy.
Part of the solution you have also suggested, which is about putting aside our political party and look for a common interest. I think it was also Atodia Nene who said one time there is no permanent friend in politics, but there is permanent interest. So we must understand what is our permanent interest as a people. So if you are a politician coming from, I don't know, any part of Esan going to represent, you must understand what is your interest, because it's all about interest. The strategy is needed to be able to safeguard that interest. All right. Now, coming back to the youth development, I'm going to ask you the last question there. What do you think what is your recommendation on how to solve this youth development in Esan land? Because that is our central conversation for today. What would you recommend as a way to find solution to that problem?
Number one, education. We must focus on education, because an uneducated populace is an unempowered populace. There is power in education. So from 0 years to 16 years, our children must go to school. They must be well educated. After that, the second step is that government must pursue policy that encourages employment, skill acquisition, and knowledgeable information technology development. We need to go to information technology. These things are not quick fixes. These are policies that should have been implemented 15 years ago, and they will be reaping the dividends today. There's no quick fix in all these things I'm saying. However, you can accelerate the process. You can accelerate the process by embarking on skill acquisition center developments. We have some skill acquisition centers currently, but they are only educating rats and snakes because those people don't have human beings. They are locked up. So government needs to rapidly invest in skill acquisition. You know, in those days when I went to school, we had things like a technical drawing, you know, where you were taught how to use, carpentry tools and things like that. The skill acquisition center teaching automobile mechanics, electrification, hair design, all these kind of things are supposed to, in 6 months, give you a skill that you can use to earn a living. This is what we have to do very quickly. This is the short term. This is the short term solution. Is to empower our youths now with skills. How to repair a mobile phone. In 6 months, there are courses, that can teach you how to repair mobile phones in 6 months. So that in 6 months, a young boy, a young girl, and because it's brain work mostly. You don't have to go and carry a bag of cement. Our girls can also learn these courses. Let me tell you, for example, there are 4 girls. There are 4 girls that I've sponsored to do graphic designs. So if you want to do banners, you want to do flyers, you want to do short adverts on social media and things like that. These are girls, and they do all my graphic work. Is done by one of them, right? So she earns her money, right? And this course and this skill has been earned in about a year, but she has been doing it for like 3 years. So you get on experience by doing it. The practical and theoretical side can be learned in a space of time, and then the more you do it, the more you learn. You are in Verona, you know exactly what I'm talking about the importance of IT. I mean, what you are doing today, you are in Verona. I'm sitting here in my room in Nigeria. We are communicating. It's technology. I'm sure maybe if you took 1 or 2 young people from Uromi, you can even teach them this technology so they can be hosting, connecting people, and creating synergy and making a living from it. So this, for me, are the exciting things. But unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, we have leaders who are still living in the days of Ovorame. They are living in the past. They are unable to meet up and catch up with what is really required in a new, fast-paced, technology-driven environment. This is the problem I'm having with the leadership, even for those now who want to be president of this country. As experienced as they are, as rich and wealthy, connected as they are, however, ill-equipped to lead any country in a fast-paced 21st century technology-driven environment. This is the problem I have. Why I believe that we're going to do a lot of problems for the next 8 years. But so my suggestion is that, and any individual can do this. You can provide laptops. You can provide money for people to go and learn how to do these courses. I've done things like this, and I think anybody can also do. You can set up cooperatives. I've also set up cooperatives for people. I paid for the cooperatives to be set up. The truth is that it's not a big deal. For 30,000 naira, you can set up cooperatives. So if you use, for 5 people, you use 150,000, you can set up 5 cooperatives where people come together in the village, and they are doing palm kernel, or they are raising fish, or they are doing poultry. That thing enables them to have a registered group. They can open a bank account where they are raising chickens somewhere, and it's communal. Maybe 5, 7 women, they all come together. 10 men, they come together, they have a cooperative, and that provides for them a source of living. And they are selling their eggs in the market. This thing about empowerment, it's not, you don't require millions and billions to do it. Now, the first thing you need is interest and love for your people. If you are in power and you love your people, you will always be doing the right thing. It's as simple as that, my brother. If you are in power and position of privilege and you love your people, you will know what to do. The problem I see with us is that a lot of us are not, we don't have the other, you don't have your neighbor's interest at heart, but over time, maybe, we'll be taught to do that, because the point of having power is not just for yourself.